Welcome back to UHC Generations. We are once again back here in Founders Town on some very important business. I know it's been a little while, but if you guys can remember the end of the last episode, we finished off Quilby's bee house over yonder at the far end of the Fields of Regeneration, but we never properly marked off this quest as complete. And while we're here, you know, there's quite a few other things going on here, such as to decorate the Founders Town portal room and to start a nether hub. But there's actually one of these that we're going to be tackling in today's video. That's right, the furthest one on the right is to make a potion brewing lab. Right out here, just outside Founders Town, off in the direction of the Fields of Regeneration, we've got this kind of pretty large expanse of pretty much nothing, honestly. I mean, there's a river, and there's a whole bunch of red sand, and then of course there is this monument to Flaming Moai, but besides that, there is not much going on here. And I think it would be really cool if we started to make this passageway between Founders Town and the fields a little bit more safe, you know, a little bit more developed, a little bit more built up. And what better way to make things safe than to start throwing up some buildings? We've got the perfect landscape here for like an old Wild West frontier town, especially with this river running down the middle. I think we could do some really cool stuff with like bridges and saloons and stores and train tracks and stuff. I think it would be awesome, and it would be a much needed break from all of our industry and redstone going on in Industry Park. Now, I haven't made the design yet, but this idea has been cooking in my head for quite a while, and I want to make an old school Wild West saloon. A tavern of sorts, but of course instead of selling food and adult beverages, we'll be giving out potions to all the weary travelers who stop by. Obviously, we will have to gather a bunch of wood and stone and stuff for the build itself, but I figured it would be a little bit more interesting if we also took the time to gather some brewing materials, and that's kind of what I've been doing over here with my little collection of nether warts. Now, of course, a lot of brewing materials are going to require a trip to the nether, which I know you guys love watching me scream and be super anxious and afraid in the nether, so I'm sure that'll be very enjoyable for you all. Took a few minutes to get all my gear going. We got our piglin protection. Of course, we got a little bit extra. Actually, no, we need more soup. That's not going to be enough. 1 second, guys. Okay, this time around, we've got enough soup. We've got our tools. We've got our bow. We've got a little bit of blocks. Let's get going straight into the nether. What could possibly go wrong, right, guys? Yeah. Oh, there's already a gas. Okay. All right. We're off to a great start here, folks. Where'd you go? And it's gone. Okay. I do not have a flint and steel on me, guys. That could have been really bad really quick. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, the nerves are coming back, you guys. It's been a hot minute since I've done this. It's been like a whole month since I've recorded a UHC Generations episode, so bear with me, y'all. So there's 4 things on our nether agenda, right? We need glowstone dust, we need magma cream, we need gas tears, and we need soul sand. The first 2 ought to be pretty easy. I mean, glowstone is everywhere. Magma cubes are also everywhere, thankfully, because of this basalt delta, so I think we shouldn't have too much trouble with that, provided I cannot fall into lava, which is, I know, easier said than done, but we'll see, I guess. Falling into one of these pits is going to be a very quick death for yours truly, so I am more than a little cautious right now, as you can probably imagine. Ooh, that was crazy, yo. All right, it has been a while. I've been in the nether way longer than I expected to, guys. Oh, there's another guy back there. 1 second. So yeah, turns out farming magma cream is a really tedious process. Got a whole bunch of glowstone, 38 soul sand from bartering with piglins, and only 2 gas tiers, which is a little bit unfortunate. Gas really didn't show up that much, which was good, but gas tiers are of course for the regeneration potions, which sounds like a pretty big deal, but stay tuned, because I got a couple other plans for how we're gonna get ourselves more regeneration. For now though, back to the overworld. It's the next day in real life and I've been a busy guy. As you can see in front of me here, I've been doing quite a bit of terraforming. This whole section here has pretty much had to be completely filled in. It was pretty much all water. I'm really trying to highlight the existence of this very cool little river here, really trying to make the riverbank something really nice and special to build our buildings alongside. Of course, I've also been doing a lot of resource gathering. As you can see, we've got a ton of spruce wood, ton of acacia wood, lots of terracotta and red sandstone stuff, of course. And I've even moved all of my brewing materials over to the other side of the riverbank, where we are now looking very, very good on potion supplies. I've also been working on a design for the saloon in my creative mode test world, and it's coming together very, very nicely. And it's going to be going right here in this flat area. It's going to take up most of the space, and then of course I'm planning on adding more buildings and structures further off in this direction, and of course on this side of the riverbank. But before we do any of that, I'd like to do a little bit more terraforming, in particular this pathway leading over here, or rather the lack of a pathway leading over here. There's not much between Founders Town over yonder and over this way, so I figured we could do a little bit of a building time lapse and get a cool little pathway put down. Standing atop the hillside, gazing out over the sunset, admiring my work here in this now looking pretty decent— oh, my controls are all messed up. Pretty decent looking terraforming job here. But yeah, there's now a complete pathway connecting Founders Town all the way over here to the banks of what is going to be our town. It was a little bit tricky to be working with all these different kinds of textures because orange is a little bit weird, but I think things turned out pretty well. And of course, we've got some more cacti, we've got some sea pickles looking like little desert succulents, and as you may have seen off on this side where we're going to be building our Wild West Saloon, I've got the first level kind of blueprints roughly kind of plotted out. You got a little deep slate wall action going on, got some orange terracotta, got a little bit of spruce stuff going on here too. And you know, I'm still finalizing all the little details, you know, working out the little bits of decor and whatnot, so it's not going to be built just yet. But in the meantime, I've got something really, really cool to show you guys, and I genuinely think this is really gonna shake up the whole UHC Generations series. For real. So as I'm sure you guys are all aware, the inhabitant of the UHC Generations world is constantly plagued by a lack of natural health regen. It's really, really difficult trying to survive in a hardcore Minecraft world without being able to ever regenerate health. But despite this extraordinary challenge, my successors have always found ways to overcome this. Back in the very early days of this world, Flaming Moai subsided off of golden apples, which as you know are very expensive, and it made gold a very precious commodity. Partway through, he discovered the regen soup, which is made by crafting suspicious stew with an oxeye daisy. This tremendous discovery made the cost of regenerating health a lot smaller, and thanks to the fields of regeneration, we now have an infinite, endless supply of this regen soup. But regen soup is not without its flaws. As you know, I've complained about the lack of inventory space and the fact that one of these only gives you about like 8 or 9 seconds of regen, only enough to regenerate 1.5 hearts. Like all the soup I'm carrying on me isn't even a full health bar. But guys, I think I've got something big here. With just these items right here in my inventory, plus a little bit of help from some mob friends, I think I'm now ready to make the next big leap in regeneration technology. Let me take you to my test world. Here we are in my vast expanse of nothingness where I do all of my testing and all of my prototyping and whatnot. And behind us here, we've got this very strange little construct. I do have to give complete credit to Monocode on YouTube for not only coming up with this design, but making a video on it. I'll leave a link to that video in the description, definitely go check it out. But yeah, so what's the deal with this weird amalgamation of glass and trapdoors and whatnot? How is this going to give us regeneration? And you know what? The answer is never something I ever would have thought of. Axolotls. That's right, these 24 buckets right here are going to be filled with axolotls, and we're going to stuff them all into this one little spot right here. Bear with me one second. and I really feel bad for the little guys, but they're gonna be really, really important, so they have to stay there, even though they don't look very comfortable. I never knew very much about axolotls, but apparently you can actually get them to like help you fight things. I think typically people will use them to help fight like guardians and stuff, but another creature that they'll attack is the cod. Now they cannot get to this cod, but they can see the cod. You see how they've all locked on to this one cod's position? So if I go ahead and I kill this guy, sorry buddy. Look at this, 2 minutes of regeneration. That's so much regeneration, like, oh my lord. For comparison, a regen soup gives you 8 seconds of regen. That's nothing. That's, like I said, a heart and a half. But we're getting 2 minutes from the axolotls, and I've tested this, guys. 2 minutes of regen is easily enough to refill an entire health bar. Like, look at the difference here. This is absolutely bonkers, guys. This is why I said it's a game changer. Cause it is. It would be very fitting if I were to kind of sneak this whole farm thing into our saloon build in some form or another. Let's hop on back, where you can see I've already laid out the general structure of the farm. I mean, there's not much to it. It's literally just 8 glass and 2 other blocks. Now, finding 24 axolotls in survival Minecraft might sound like a little bit of a challenge, but I know a spot. Aha, there's one. Hi, buddy. Gotcha. And there we have actually 25 axolotls. I might have miscounted there. Whoopsie. I mean, we already have, where is he? We already have Mango 2 over here, just hanging out looking cute. Let's give Mango 2 a friend. And with an inventory full of axolotls, quite literally stuffed to the gills with these guys, let's head back on over to our new build site. And for the first 23 of these buckets, we're actually going to be double clicking to basically release the axolotl and then take the water away. And for the last one, we just click once, and there we are. Not sure what else to say about this. This isn't something I ever expected. Look at all their tails. Oh, God. Anyways, y'all, the good thing is we can use all of these buckets to go get a whole bunch of fish. And in these rivers around here, salmon spawn like crazy. We can stuff all of our salmon into the salmon barrel. And this farm is now pretty much ready to go whenever we need it. And with that being said, guys, I think it's about time we get down and finish this saloon. I just want to get this thing built, so let's get straight into a time lapse and get this thing done. Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! It looks so good! I'm really happy with how this turned out, guys. It definitely blends in with the surrounding landscape a little bit, but that's just how it is when you're working with these very earthy color tones. That issue will definitely start to go away as we put together more buildings in this up-and-coming Wild West town. I'm really proud of the level of detail on the exterior here. You know, we got the windows, we got these really expansive balconies and stuff. We've even got like a bit of a service staircase on the back here, with plenty of extra room for another building in the future. I've left this side very much blank just because I want to kind of shove another building right up against it right here. So there's not really going to be any obvious gap there. Moving on to the interior, I'm very proud of how this ground floor came together. We've got a little bar section over here with our 2 brewing stands. Storage over here, lots of little stools and stuff. We've got a rickety old staircase leading up to the 2nd floor, which is not particularly decorated. It's mainly just going to be tables and chairs up here. This is something I'll take care of off camera because I'm kind of out of materials right now, but yeah, I'll get around to it. Moving back on down to the ground floor, there's a hidden trapdoor leading down to the basement where, of course, we've got our axolotls set up with all those fine fellas all Wedged in there. Underground nether wart growing operation. They certainly like the darkness back here. Roof is caving in a little bit, but yeah, you know, what isn't run down in an old western place like this? So yeah, guys, this build is like 95% complete, which is fantastic. And there's no better way to celebrate this occasion than to make some potions of our own. Local brewery acquired. Very handy 8 minutes of fire resistance and instant health too. And one last thing before we close things off for today, I want to give our little regeneration station down in the basement a proper test. So that means taking off all my armor and doing something that gives me a heck of a lot of anxiety, but I suppose this is just what you gotta do. I'm gonna be giving myself some damage intentionally here. That's 3, 5, and 8 hearts damage. Oh, that is very, very dangerous. This is the least amount of health I've had. Grab a slammin', deposit the slammin', let them all lock on, kill the slammin', and there we are. 2 minutes of regen, and look at that. Look at all the health just climbing back up from nothing. That is so sick, guys. That is awesome. I can't tell you how good this makes me feel, man. And the regen is still going. We still have over a minute. If I was still taking damage for whatever reason, I would still be healing. Like, look at this. That's just incredible. Anyways, y'all, I think that's about to do it for today's episode. We've done a lot today. A lot of big changes to the UHC Generations world. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like down below and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And until next time, y'all, this has been Leon, and I'll see you guys in the next UHC Generations video.